Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Ooh, sound is pretty good this morning. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is let me try to do it without looking up at the top. Today is not Friday. Today is Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. We got it right. We got it right. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. It's good to see everyone in the room. Let's jump over to Instagram. Darrin Howell will be with us in a few minutes. He's busy as usual. So he is on his way to being more stationary. Y'all know how I love when people are on the phones and mobile and, anyway. We are getting ready to, Darren's in the chat. Oh, I think that was from a few minutes ago. All right, so we're good. He's going to be with us in just a few moments. So those of you that are here to hear the conversation with Darrin and I, as we are closing out what I would call a very community-driven, inspired week of civic engagement. We started on Monday with Dr. Brandy Brooks, talked a little bit about mental health and the holidays, and she, as a former candidate, gave her perspective on all things politics at the federal, state, and local level. And then after that, we had former state representative Carlos Enriquez come in and chat with us about Proposition 2.5 and how that has impacted a very active, trending topic here in the city of Boston, for which the Boston City Council today is going to vote on a potential tax hike. Carlos came in and chatted with us about Proposition 2.5, the historical context, what it does. And then the day after, we talked with Aaron Davis, first we talked with Brian Worrell. Let me correlate there properly. We talked with Brian Worrell about his proposal, which is a long-term, by his definition, solution and a tax equity approach, where a lot of what is going on at the national and federal level and some impact of that impacting the state and how that impacts their financial relationship with local municipalities, Boston being one of them. He's looking at how we can sustain a more tax equity impact. So the impact of what I just said doesn't disproportionately impact, I'm saying that word a lot today because there's a lot going on impacting us, that impact is not that great. And so do me a favor, as we get ready to go into the Facebook section of the Java Cafe, hit that like and share button and invite others to be a part of the Java Cafe. Let's go in and see who is in so far this morning. As I said before, Darrin will be with us in just a few moments. Mama Java is in the room, the first one, as always. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Cliff, good to see you in the room, brother. Nisi Williams, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Sister Debbie, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. I'm glad that you enjoyed yesterday's or the day before's convo with Carlos and Brandy as well. Nisi 2026. There's a lot to vote for and a lot to get ready for. Excuse me for 1 second. I gotta, this is why in the Zoom age, we learn to keep our pants on. My coffee is in stand-up reach level. So excuse me. And that's probably why I'm coughing. Plus, there's not spring cleaning. There's a lot of winter. Yeah, we're almost in winter officially cleaning going on here. So things are interesting. Respiratorily speaking, my sister is in the room. Good morning. Good to see you in the room, Nakia. Michelle D. Smith is in the room as well. Good morning. Good to see you in the room. Jamal, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. Dina, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. Milagro, good morning to you and good to see you over on YouTube in the room this morning. Over on Instagram this morning, we have Winston Henderson, Taboo Excalibur, and also Loose Change, former candidate for the city of Brockton. Mayor, good to see her in the room this morning. And also Jeffrey Bino is in the room this morning. So good to see all of you in the room this morning. Excuse me again. Okay. Hold on. Okay. And it's hot in here. All right. Look who's in the room this morning, everybody. Sharon Cornelius, Pastor Sharon Cornelius, as Brandy says. Cornelius, good to see you in the room this morning. Listen again, Darrin is going to be with us in a few minutes, but I need you all to do me a favor. For those of you who have not yet filled out the Coalition for a Resilient and Inclusive Waterfront survey, we need you to go take that survey, like put on your favorite song, as Ian said, and fill out the survey now. There is so much going on as far as climate justice and climate change, and it is imperative that we participate in the process of all things that's going on Boston's waterfront. So make sure, if you have not, when you get off of Java with Jimmy today, make sure that you go and fill out the survey. If you do not remember that tiny link there, as you know, we have our own place here, jwj.info, and you can fill out the survey or get to the survey there as well. For those of you that are family members, you remember the front part of this link that we use often. So jwj.info crew survey. Please make sure that you fill that survey out, because as climate change and things are changing, no pun intended, and environmental justice is a part of the planning for Boston's waterfront. And a lot of times we refer to the Seaport area. We need to be in on the conversation. And for example, in the worst case scenario, and this was told to me in, what was the earth science class as a freshman, if there was a major catastrophe, and the water, basically Roxbury, certain parts of Dorchester, over by UMass, and Morrissey Boulevard often gets flooded. In the worst case scenario, Roxbury could, decades from now, be the Seaport. What influence can we have now on that? And so I'm going to talk with Darrin later about the balance between limited opportunity and then also us, when there are opportunities, to participate. White poles and speed bumps, White Stadium, Blue Hill Ave. Yes, entities can do better at advertising and having those spaces and times when not just 9 to 5, but after that, and Saturdays and Sundays, so all voices can be heard. But when those opportunities are created, we need to seize them. And so anyway, enough of my commentary. It is Freestyle Friday on a Wednesday. I often say that this segment was created and curated, and what's the word I was looking for earlier? Commandeered. That's the word I thought of earlier. Commandeered by the good brother. You got mad noise in the background, but you're at the convention center.
It's working.
Hi, brother.
What's going on, Java family? Yeah. Java.
Oh, you better say Java family, because you can't call me Java.
Got to make sure.
No. It's
first time this year, so definitely. Because I took my little break at the beginning of the year, so yeah, it's actually the first.
Lion.
Yeah,
Darrin. Okay. So you're gonna make me cuss this morning. Really? This is the first you haven't been on all year?
Darrin. Remember, I took the half of the year off of social media, so I just was off the radar.
Well, okay. It seems strange because we talk, and right. So just not on here lately. So, all right, So I've tried to upscale a little bit. So I'm treating you.
I've noticed. I'm like, geez, it's too much. My phone I can't hear nothing. I'm like, geez, Java's moving up, evolving, which is, I need to say it to the audience. It's amazing to see it from start to present, to see the growth, to see the development. And if you wasn't doing something, people wouldn't be talking, right? So either it's positive or negative, people are going to talk when you're doing something. So glad to see you still doing stuff.
So, sir, speaking of glad to still doing, and while you're in a place of joy, because we talk, I'm aware, I do this with the mayor and all the big officials and whatnot, though not as active and public service can oftentimes be interesting, coupled with, this is an interesting time of year for you, with Pops, Chuck, and Terry, and so you mentioned being off this time last year and just like, yo, I'm taking care of me. We'll catch up. Darrin, it's been dude. So with this, okay, we got some time. Because we got some catching up to do. And so with that, where you are now, if I was to ask you on this Freestyle Friday on a Wednesday to go to Mental Health Monday, describe your mental health status right now, Black man, in one word.
Secured. And I'm using that word because I have been really being intentional around my well-being, my health, my mental state of mind, my physical capacity, just really making sure that I'm whole. So I think the word I'm going to use today is secured. There's some good days, there's some bad days, but through it all, I am blessed. I am grateful. I'm still present. And to know that as you just highlighted, with some of the trauma that has been experienced in the fourth quarter, which I look at it, this activity, this space has been my therapeutic space. Something that I enjoy doing. I know what the end goal is and what the result is intended to be. So this is my way of just dealing with some of the things that have happened, and being able to move forward in a productive, positive way. So I'm secured right now. I'm feeling good.
I definitely love to hear that. And as I said, we've communicated. So I have a sense, and it's really going to actually inform, today's questioning too, in a manner, Darrin, and I'll extract this from you because we talk about this a lot. All that you've been through, you move in the space of community service. You are politically aware, you are policy aware, and you are a man. You have children. You may feel, has that been since? No, the baby's like 2 years old now, right? Okay, so we did know about that, and we'll check in about the grandbaby. Say grandbaby without smiling.
No. I mean, just saying it brings a smile to my face, to be able to just and now I really truly understand what it is to be a grandparent. Like to really understand what my parents experienced, my dad experienced with some of the things that was happening when he was providing me support. That we bumped heads, but now I get it, where it's like he was with his grandchildren, and he didn't really worry about whatever was going on between me and my children's mother. So I find myself in that similar space where it's like I'm just focused on making sure my grandchild has any and everything that he needs. So I get it now as a grandparent.
So I'm going to try to really stay focused because
it's Freestyle Friday. We got to bring the energy.
Okay. So I'm looking at the flyer, right? And I was intentional. I have your old picture with the white sweater. And then I either went trolling on Facebook. I think I went trolling on Facebook, and I saw the picture that I used for today's flyer. And I joke with you about this all the time, that, the gray and what.
One side's gray, one side's black,
Man, listen, now you made me think about Michael Jackson's Black or White, even the way you just did that. Anyway, tell us a little bit, because we have some new viewers and viewership. Give us a minute of when you didn't think that you would even be to the point of a father and now a grandfather. And I'm saying that because we were getting ready to just check in on the mental health space of Black men with all that's going on this time of year. There's the strain as now you got the children, our wonderful Emily and grandbaby. And for some, it's important to demonstrate sometimes tangible things of love this time of year, and that has an impact of financially and whatnot. So all of that to say, tell us, to be at this point now, take us on about a minute journey from when you didn't think you were even going to make it to, if I remember right, you said 21?
Yeah, 21.
So what is it, that mental health space and that journey, like why, how, why, and yeah.
And I want to do this because as you and definitely your viewership has went up, right? There's a new audience and folks in the Java Cafe. And so for those that don't know, like as a young man, I was actively involved. I was interested in being outside and engaged in activities that could have cost me my life or my freedom. And I knew I was participating in those activities. So I don't try to make an excuse. I know the environment played a role in what I thought was attractive or what I wanted to be as it relates to an identity. But nonetheless, the goal became as a young man, will I be alive and feel as if I'm a man by 21? And at the time, I know my moms used to always say, and my dad, you can't tell you nothing, right? I always had a response for things. And I thought that's what it meant to be a man at 21, that I was responsible for my well-being. And I was able to have some life experiences, have a neighborhood type of identity, reputation, but also be able to survive some of the things that others were not able to, right? Given the activities and things that I was involved in. So when I was almost close to that age, I ended up, my children's mother was pregnant. She ended up having my twin daughters while I was incarcerated because at 21, I picked up 5 criminal cases. And so it was a interesting year nonetheless. But again, to have my children born while incarcerated, it really led to what is my reason or purpose when I was released, and which was to provide and protect. So those 2 years of now living life with a Corey and having a resume, so a resume and a record, was difficult to find gainful employment that would provide me with the revenue I needed to provide to my children. And so still found myself with the challenges of jumping in and out of the streets, looking for gainful employment opportunities. And it took about 2 years before I came in contact with Chuck Turner after being fired from a job because of my criminal record. So in meeting with him, really opened my eyes to what public service meant, someone that really looked beyond my paperwork and looked at me as an individual, and gave me a chance to really understand what it means to serve. And I've never forgotten that space, which is almost 2 decades ago. So to see where things are at today, as you just highlighted, my kids are 21, my son is 25, my grandson is 2, and I'm able to show them that there is a pathway to getting older. So now my new age is 70, and 70 not meaning I want to be alive, but I want to feel like I lived a full life. And I think 70 is a way to indicate a full life of, was I able to, because one thing I've learned and I've accepted a long time ago, death is inevitable. It's going to happen. It's the only one guarantee that is a part of this thing called life. And so I've accepted that, but I want to learn what it is. I've been experiencing what it is to live versus being in survival mode. And I want to make sure everybody understands I am a strong advocate for therapists. I've been seeing mine for 8 years, and I tell her every Tuesday, without having that space to really process my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, these different things that have occurred, I don't know where I would be today, because as you mentioned, I'm still human and a Black man. So I do go through my ups and downs as a person. And I'm just trying to be, better than the day before. Nothing really granular at this point in time.
So one of the things that I mentioned, for those of you that are in, may hear some noise in the background, Darrin is very, he's a leader when it comes to the Toys for Tot operation, which a lot of times we've had to clarify. So I'll say it quickly, because this is our sixth, Darrin, this is our 6th time doing this. That's just crazy.
I mean, you said 6, but I look at it as it's 17 years, right? Like, and so the 6 years has been a lot of, I've been in a key civilian coordinator position when it comes to the operation of the program. But within these 6 years, it's been about really leveraging the resources and relationships, really trying to be transparent and vocal about what this program is, how it functions, how it flows, so that people on the receiving end can really get an understanding of what it takes to be in a position for this program to provide. It is volunteer driven, donation driven, and right now the convention center has been, and as you said, I'm literally sitting here because I'm monitoring the activities as things are coming in and going out. We got 13 days, total of 25 days to try to fulfill 600 organizational requests, totaling about 125,000 toys. Right, so it's a very yeah, trust me, this is how. So it's a very daunting task to try to get done. But nonetheless, as I just highlighted, it's been therapeutic for me. Like it just to see how a room gets situated, what type of way could be the most efficient, effective way to really this assembly line of an operation. So it's therapeutic. And for those that do know me, no, I don't even celebrate the holiday. It's never been the thing for me. I just enjoy knowing that it brings joy to so many to have a festive moment, giving some of the trauma and negative things that have potentially happened in people's lives. Like, so I get it, but I personally don't even celebrate the holiday because, as you highlighted, Chuck Turner even passed away on Christmas Day, so it doesn't really bring about the best of memories when I think about Christmas itself. But I do value and appreciate the program that it has existed, that has given me some joy, just knowing I'm a part of it. And I think that's why I continue to be here and show up and not have done an event in 5 years, right? Like I've learned what it is to take a step back, to just really deal with any of the rumblings and noise. Right, people might say, oh, you got a hidden agenda, or you got a hidden motive, or you got this, and it's like, oh, guess what, I don't have nothing, so now you figure it out, right, as a community, and I will provide support in you figuring things out. So
Darrin, I love when the guest has lines me up for a good segue. When I refer to the point of 6 years, we have checked in because there have been times that you've had to clarify operationally. You've in some years expressed, and we can cover this as well, a desire to maybe see a collaboration of a big event for the purpose of manpower, resources, unity. Exactly. Disclaimer in that thought is that your philosophy has always been, y'all can go back and watch the former years. I'm going to sum it up here to allow him to speak to where things are this year. If you have a constituency, a community with whom you work throughout the year, all year long, summer, certain sections, you have a constituency that's active and you want to work with the families to provide support for them during the holidays. From what I understand from you, Darrin, is do that. That's one of the reasons Toys for Tots is there to support, and why people need to support Toys for Tots with gifts. And Darrin, at some point, I don't know if you're on your phone or computer, but if you can get me a link where people can donate, or I'll find it online while you're talking, do that. But before we've talked about that, don't go and in November 4th, create a flyer, which also creates a demand, which also creates pressure on you, maybe those with whom you work, and all of that, and budget, food, You know where I'm going.
Yeah, I do. That's why I'm waiting for it. I'm like, yeah, let's Freestyle Friday.
That is Freestyle Friday, and it's just our thoughts. And so, what are your thoughts on the fact that yet still we don't seem to, away from the organizations that Dee Dee's Cry, the Peace Institute, Young Man with a Plan, all the others that work with constituencies throughout the year, we still, and it's not going to happen this year in 13 days. I know it's not, because we still have not come together. And this was a joke in social media trend around Thanksgiving this year. I think Thanksgiving I killed this year because all of any and everybody that's helping people based on what was going on. So I'm going to shut up and just let you take there and just give us your thoughts on, yet still we have not figured out how to come together and have one big event. And yeah, why? Why?
So it's interesting because knowing I was coming on the show today, I was wondering how to communicate in a way that is not dismissive to anyone's efforts or what they're intending to do, but also highlighting the depths of experience to share that I get it. Like, I get the desire to want to provide some joy to the people that you know may need some, right? And you want to do that in the form of an event and a gift. What I've tried to also share, and I, it's my running joke, because it's no slight to those that pass out turkeys, but turkeys is a one-size-fit-all type of resource during the holiday. Toys are not. There's some logistics that are around toys. Age, gender, those are two of the biggest things, right? So there's not a one-size-fit-all. So one of the things that I have wealth of experience, and as you highlighted, Drive Boston did an event for 12 years, and Drive Boston resource was provided through Toys for Tots. That was the main sponsor for the Drive Boston event. Over the years, others have contributed to the successfulness of the Drive Boston event, but the main thing was you had to have gifts, right? That was, you can't have a toy drive and you don't have toys. So I got it. One thing I recognized was that Toys for Tots is a donation, volunteer-driven program. I found that out very early on when I wanted to know how did they function. And when I found out that it was donation and volunteer-driven, I knew that even with an approval, because I had the appropriate paperwork that I could submit a request, there was no guarantees. So because there was no guarantees, there was no flyer that was communicated to the general public. And so when people would ask, hey, is Drive Boston doing the event this year? Or when is it taking place? I would comfortably say, you will know when I have the resource or when I've been informed that I can pick up the resource, which is toys. So until then, there was no flyer because I didn't want to put, as you just highlighted, myself in a position of putting the cart before the horse. And so what I've realized over the years, because it became the largest community-based event in the city, that you didn't need a lot of notification. People are going to follow you because of the need and what they are desiring to have. So you don't have to do 3-4 weeks notification about an event and then try to put that pressure not only on yourself, but on the entity that is providing you the resource when there was never a guarantee that you would receive. And given some of the logistical challenges that have existed over the last 6 years as it relates to, the main thing is a staging location. Toys for Tots had a staging location in the seaport. They had that for 24/7. They had it 365 days a year.
You know why I'm laughing? Because I remember how and why and when that.
Yes. I'm not going to disclaim. I'm not going to share that backstory of how things ended up creating the relocation. But that's what the problem was, that they had a place that they were staged at and had access to all year round. You only needed
I'll just say thanks to Mayor Menino, and we'll leave that there.
Yes, I will say, well, I'm going to say it even better than that. Mayor Menino invested into the Toys for Tots program. That's why the success is the way it is, because it's years, right? He had over 20 years.
He used to do a whole press conference and release
right. It was a signature organization and activity during the holiday season. That's why Toys for Tots grew to the magnitude that it is. So I fell into the loop of, I didn't know how this organization was providing toys. I was on the receiving end. Someone called me and said, hey, Darrin, do you want some? Matter of fact, it was Strive Boston. Hint. Strive ended up reaching out to me, said they had toys. I just finished their program and they wanted to know if I needed some for my kids. I said, sure. My kids was like 2-3 years old. Why not get some toys, right? But then the curiosity in me said, how did you get these toys? Where did they come from? So I did my homework, reached out, and I connected with the Boston Toys for Tots program, and they informed me on what they needed in order to provide toys to a person.
Can I just ask one question? And then the other thing for the people on Instagram. So Darrin, do not, you and the mayor, I know you're going to lean over and start in the comment. Do me a favor, move right in the middle so people on Instagram can see your whole shot. So perfect. So
So I try to be transparent with it, so no one feels like, yo, if I try to tell people, if I can do it, you can do it.
And that's exactly, that's what I wanted to extract real quick, and we'll go into some politics in a few minutes. But you saw something, you had a desire, and you took it upon yourself to do the research to see how things are done. And for 17 years, you've been making it happen. It changed. COVID was a transition year, and then with other things, you just, it changed, but it's still 17 years of consistency being there. So as a resident, yes, which you're fully back to now, you saw something and you did something. Yeah. So I wanted to extract that,
encourage others to get involved, right? Like, and I've made it very clear that everybody doesn't have the flexibility in their schedule. I get it, but if you are on the receiving end, you cannot tell me you don't have any type of time.
So hold on. When you say receiving, let's make it plain for the people in the back.
Receiving meaning that you have submitted a request to this organization because you would like to be provided with the toys to provide to the population that you serve. You have the ability because it's a volunteer program. So there's whatever you can do is appreciated. So that's what I've tried to communicate, that, hey, I'm blessed. I'm fortunate. I can provide the type of support, but if you only can give an hour, if you only can give a day, if you can only do that, it will be valued and appreciated. And it's a show of, and once you, I think anyone, and James, you can contest to this, once you experience, you have a different outlook for this program, because you'll be like, wow, hold on. You're sore at the end of the day. You're recognizing that you didn't even put a dent in what you thought you were doing. Like, you start to get a different feel of, wow, I feel like Santa's helper. I feel like I'm an elf. I feel like I'm contributing to these toys getting to hopefully some young kid that's going to make their day on Christmas. That's why I've encouraged people to say, I'm not in charge. I am influential. But it's the U.S. Marines program. So I've never promoted Drive Boston. That's never been my thing. I was like, this is the organization that allowed Drive Boston to do what it did. So why not just support the organization that's not trying to do an event? They're trying to just be the hub. So I'm like, all right, if you want to be the hub, let's just
be the hub. Oh, Jesus, Darrin. Okay.
So this year, and last year, I wanted to actually take on really digging deep into the infrastructure that needs to be in place for this program. But unfortunately, loss of life happened, right? So I didn't have the level of energy that I wanted to provide, but I still supported and made sure that this program, and it's not just me, there's a few other key volunteers. So I want to highlight Cynthia Brewington, Amanda, Mary, and guess what? That's where the names are stopping, because I'm not going to.
Are they there?
Unfortunately, I was
say, tell them to come say hi. Okay, that's cool.
That's here, cool. But it's a handful of volunteers that have really provided the infrastructure for this program, because what I've tried to be transparent and vocal and visible about is about how it actually works. Like, it's there needs, and don't worry, I have a plan in place for next year. Again, last year was life happened, had to deal with my own emotions. This year, just getting situated with a few things. But I've already started the conversations where it relates to the infrastructure that is needed for this program to be successful. And I know we're going to touch on the community side. See, there's two things. There's the organization that should be the hub, right? So that needs to function and flow a certain way. But then it's the community side when it comes to events and activities, right? There's listen, if you are an ABCD, you should just focus on those families. But if you are trying to do a community public event, you need to collaborate. It just makes a lot more sense, especially when you're reaching out to me to see if I can give you additional things when I'm asking you to collaborate. And I will provide whatever support, knowledge, information, potentially even additional resources for a collaborative effort, not a single effort, because that's not fair at this point to someone that has literally approached this activity with this in mind, of saying, hey, it's not about me. It's never been a Darrin Howell event. It's been Drive because I didn't want no attention, right? So when As you remember when it was like, oh, 10,000 kids registered, no more event, bye-bye. Guess what? That's how simple it works. You're not going to put that pressure on me to try to fulfill a community's need as a private citizen. FYI, for those that are watching, because I know they'll see it, I am a private citizen. I am not a public official, right? Like, I am not, my job is not to serve. And I mean to say that because I'm not getting paid to serve. It's something that I have a desire to do, something that I was blessed to understand. And that's why I continue to do it, because it gives me joy. It makes me feel like I am living in my purpose. But it's not my job. And I love saying it's not my job because I'm not being compensated. I'm getting internal joys and highs from what I am able to do and contribute to someone else's situation. So I need that to be known, that to all the public officials, I don't work for none of you all. And I have a lot of respect for what you're doing, because I wouldn't have ran for office either. But it's not my job. It's something that I've desired and enjoy doing.
Again,
right? 17 years.
That part I'm talking about again. In this conversation twice, you've gave me a good alley-oop to a segue, because I want to be sensitive, and I'm personally got to pull some time back. And brother, I was gonna say Wadi. Nubians, Wawa, brother Wawa is 100% with the strength on Instagram. And I know you can see the ones in Facebook, so I'm not going to tell you. Good segue. You talk about service and you talk about your job. Darrin, you and I often talk about the electoral, those that are successful in the electoral campaigning process, about, yes, it is a paid position, but it is also a service. I have not talked to you publicly. All right, we got a few minutes. I'm going to do a speed round with you because you're very you political, so you can do this. Describe the municipal election season this year, all inclusive of mayoral, at large, and also some, and very special to you, D7. Describe that all in one word.
Wow.
Dr. Brandy had 3 words for federal, state, and municipal. She said, ha, and yep.
I would say on a city level, unfortunate. I'll say that on a city level. On a state level, well, nothing really happened at the state.
Yeah, it was municipal this year. Describe the municipal in one word.
And I'll use unfortunate for a reason, being that it's unfortunate that we are at a place that we are at when we could be so much further. I think that's a politically correct way of saying it. Meaning that the job itself, and again, I was blessed and fortunate to be around some of the elders, right? Those that had that background. Their work stood out for them in terms of before they got into a public servant position. It was about what were they actually doing as private citizens, whether they were community organizers, whether they were activists, whether they was a part of some institution that was providing another form of service. Like, there was a track record behind the work itself. And so at this point, it's at times has felt popularity, right? Like, yes, the person's visible, but are they effective? Like, where is the receipts for some of the things that are not around their personal life, but around the work or service that they provided to others? And so, as you know, I'm working on a project next year. It's going to be releasing a lot of receipts.
Hold on. This is kind of a little, not little. I'm sorry. This is announcement level. So, let's do it right.
Yeah. So I have been for the last almost 2 years working on a documentary to really capture my journey into the field of public service. Not only the journey of the field of public service, but the whole entire narrative behind, you know, what my upbringing was like, some of the challenges that I faced, some of the things I found myself involved in doing, and then also going to share what service work, how I got into service work, what was some of the things that was experienced, and hoping to have a major announcement as a way to really close out the documentary, which is, you know, I'm not going to speak on it yet because I'd rather do it as a celebratory event, but there is something big that I'm hoping to accomplish in 2026 that will really be a testament that the system does work. You just have to know how to work it. And that means you got to put yourself in a position to challenge the system as it relates to what you can present about yourself in order to look for the results that you're looking for. And I've folks that follow me, you can Google me. I don't have a problem challenging the system, especially when it's to my personal benefit. And then this one will definitely be something that I am. Might need another event, James. You know, it might be another event for this one.
You know, as long as you give me the let me oversee the food budget.
Yeah, this is gonna be one that I can't really like. I don't want to speak too early, not because I'm concerned about it, but I don't want to just, you know, take the impact away from what it actually is. And it's something that I think others will sit back and be like, oh wow. And again, I think my life in this direction has been about, if I can do it, you can do it, right? Like, don't let your challenges, don't let your unfortunate situations, don't let when people are talking down and trying to belittle you, don't let that discourage you from moving forward in your purpose. And I had to realize, like, as I started to show up, I was like, oh, you still doing this? Java's growing. You've evolved. You're in your purpose, right? And so you're gonna get the hate. You're gonna get the love too. It comes with it, just like an event, a toy drive event. I told people, I was like, I don't want to do it no more.
You did not. You did just like the toy drive.
Because the toy drive event, the reason why I said it is like, because you'll get the gratitude and the appreciation, but you're gonna get the entitlement, you're gonna get the ignorance, you're gonna get all that as well too, right? So you got to understand, when you're targeting this population, this is what's going to come with it. You're going to get some that's going to be extremely grateful, and you're going to get others that's going to be extremely nasty, as if you birthed them children. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like they make you feel like, well, you said you was going to do something for free. Clearly, that's what these events are. Now you owe me because you said you were going to do something for free. It's a weird dynamic. That's why I told people, it got too big. That's why I don't want to do it. I don't get a joy from the event. Now I get a joy from helping others to do an event, but I don't personally get one. And I understand my why I don't get it. It's because it got too big that I started to lose contact with the people I know was grateful, appreciative, and thankful. It just became a crapshoot, unfortunately, at times of, you don't know what you're going to get in terms of who's going to show up, what attitude, what type of time they're going to be on. Like, it just is, and it's a harsh reality. That's why I've advocated for one event, because I know what people end up experiencing. I know what people end up having to, man, why did I even do this? I can't believe this person did this or said that or did some sneaky. Like, I know what you're experiencing because I have the history to be able to tell you, like, I get it. You're never going to have enough. I need to make that clear on this platform too, to everyone that's looking to do an event. You're never going to have enough to fulfill the needs during the season. It just doesn't happen unless you are going to go out there and raise your own money and cherry pick for every individual that comes to that event. It's just not going to happen. And so if you understand that it's not going to happen, do what you can and just be and inform those on the receiving end. Be grateful, be thankful. Like, it's okay. Like, you didn't have to get anything. And so that's what we've been doing this year at the Toys for Tots, is trying to level set expectations, set people's understanding of what this is. And truthfully remind people, like, if you do get a call to pick up your toys, you should just be grateful, because again, it's based on volunteers, it's based on donations. In every area, there's a volunteer. There's a volunteer that got to call you to pick up your toys. There's a volunteer that got to process the paperwork. There's a volunteer that's dealing with counting all the toys that's coming in. There's a volunteer that's coordinating the sorting of the age and agenda. There's a volunteer that's packing the bags that need to go out. There's a volunteer, like there is volunteer. So, and trust me, every volunteer ain't coming in just to volunteer. Some people are volunteering looking for benefits. Oh, hold on, I volunteered, so I mean, I should be able to get this and I should be able to get that. Don't come with that attitude. It's not cool. It's not okay. It's not even appreciated. So please, if you want to volunteer, just have a different attitude other than you owe me.
An entitlement.
Yeah.
Darrin,
So,
I want to be sensitive to time, and I know you're there, and I got to get out of here. One thing that was very paramount in our Freestyle Fridays is, and I think it's especially apropos today, given what you've been through during this time of year, and which you were very transparent about for you this time of year, is we do our thoughts and prayers. I believe it was a moment of silence for those. And again, we still have people first and things like that. And so I want to allow you to facilitate that before we go, and then let you get back to work.
well, in light of what I see is clearly taking place on social media in regards to an unfortunate incident that took place at South Bay. And again, we talked about the things that have impacted me. So don't want to do that without recognizing that there was a young man that lost his life from our community while he was in custody. I don't know the details. I'm not speculating. I'm not making anything up, any judgment calls. I'm saying there's a life that is no longer here, and it's clearly has impacted our community. Let's take a moment of silence for that life that is not here. I'm not an investigator. I'm not looking to do any investigation, but I do recognize that that individual's life meant something to so many, and clearly people are experiencing a loss during the holiday season. So can we take a moment of silence, not only for him, but all those that unfortunately understand what the holiday season is like when a loved one is no longer here.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to just flag like back to my one word. I'm secure. I'm not in a space of feeling like I don't understand purpose at this point in life. I do. I'm appreciative. I'm grateful. I'm thankful. And I'm going to just continue to try to be better than the day before. And when life happens, I know what my support system looks like that I can lean on to help me get through that moment in time. It's only intense for so long. And I've had to learn to lean into those support systems because who enjoys making permanent decisions over temporary emotions? I don't think anybody does, and neither does I. And so I've learned how to just be like, when it's at that height, I just go quiet. I slow down. I've learned how to just do things.
Say it again for the, when you said what? You go quiet and do what?
And I slow down.
Darrin, remember a couple of summers ago, you were the one that told me that I was on D&D from June to September.
And it's okay, right? Like I think that's what I've just learned. When I went ghost, I could say there's less than a handful of people that was actually reaching out to see if there was anything going on, which was it was an eye opener. Not to say that people don't care. I don't want people to interpret it that way. It's that I get it. Life goes on. And if you're not a priority, that's why I look at the holiday season. You know how many people I don't hear from until the season? I'm not going to say they don't.
Something.
Right. It's like, I get it. Like, but that's not cool on my end. That's what I try to give people, the understanding of being like, how do you think it feels to be me? To just be like, dang, I only hear from you when you want something, right? And I'm making it clear, my sweat equity, I don't owe anybody. My labor of love, I don't owe anybody. So anything I'm doing, you're not entitled to it. And so if you do have a relationship, humility goes a long way. Like don't come at me with the, yo, I know you got me. Nah, I don't, because you feel that way. Like, do you got me? Like, can I depend on you? And I don't want to have to go. Matter of fact, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm just gonna just make it clear to be
Darrin,
like, no,
he said,
is
matter
what
of
it
fact,
is.
I'm not. I don't want to. I'm not. Non-negotiable.
It's not a go. No is the answer. Silence is the explanation. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Like,
Is that yours? Is that hold on? Is that yours?
yes, that is mine.
Hold on, say it again. Say it again.
No is the answer. Silence is the explanation. So it sucks sometimes that I leave people on red, not because I didn't read it.
Can
I
you
read
do me a
it and
favor though?
I didn't know how to respond because I was in my feelings when I read it. So I just left it on red.
That is real. But can you answer a question? Now, Darrin, I know you and I have the technology conversation. Is your phone set up that they can't see when you leave it on red? Or they can see?
I want them to see it. I want people to see I read it. I opened your message. And if you felt anyway, you could pick up the phone and call. It makes it much easier. I'm a phone.
Wait, hold on. So because you're one of the few people, because you know me in the phone, and over some years, Darrin has converted. Darrin don't even. Darrin will call and I'll be like, and well, hit me when you. Darrin,
because again, when people know me, they should know. Like, hold on, he'll answer his phone. He always has his phone on him. He even probably got the message. Why didn't he respond? Pick up the phone. I have no problem explaining it because I don't want the text message to be misunderstood. Right? People be like, I felt there was a tone in that, or I felt there was this. It's like, no, just call me, and I will have no problem explaining things so there's clarity. Right? Like, there's many calls this year that I've had to say. 125,000 in 25 days. Like, no, I don't know where you're at on the list. That's not an area or a lane I want to deal with because of this phone call. Right?
And I'm not dealing with it.
Yeah, and I'm not dealing with it. I don't have no problem saying, hey, what are you gonna hold me accountable to doing volunteer work? That makes no sense at the end of the day. So it's like, you'll be upset, but you'll get over it. That's my
how far are you from 50?
I got 7 more years. 6 in a month because I'll be 44 next.
6 in a month.
Yeah.
Darrin, 40s. The 40s the number change. You if you reflect back, you'll probably be like, yeah, this is a time when this and this happened. But 50s, I can't wait to see you.
I mean, think about it. We did the 10-year anniversary.
Yeah.
Right. 3 locations. Took care of special needs and autistic, older kids, right? Like that was just 10. The last one was COVID. What more do you know? Like at this point, is like, all right, cool. I keep saying collaboration. Nobody wants to do it. Y'all figure it out as a community. I'll be over here doing my therapeutic activity, and folks can just figure it out. Like, because at least I know what I do is I'm offering. Right, I am willing to do certain things, and certain things I'm just not going to do anymore. Hey, Rachel.
We're going to get ready. Look, you're always busy, and Janky Java is in the room. She said, "Hi, Darrin. Good seeing you quickly this morning."
Hello. This is Rachel. See, I got my union
Rachel
over here. She's over here to get some sweat.
Rachel, who is you? Wait a minute. She looks familiar. Rachel, get in the camera. Have I seen you? No. Okay.
No.
Boston Labor Council, Painters DC 35.
Okay, my glasses are clearer now.
Yeah. So I'm about to get out. Go do this.
Right.
Java, always a pleasure. And Java family.
Bond said, "What's up?" On Instagram.
My guy, Bonds. You know you got to get at me. You know what we do every year, so just get at me. But yeah, again, I do what I can. People that I know is doing the work. Trust me, they have my number.
And they use it more than December.
Right. They don't just call me during the holiday.
All right, brother. Love, man. We'll talk. Thank you, brother. Folks, I hope you got clarity, encouragement, and some inspiration from my time with Darrin Howell today. You probably see why a lot of people, brothers, sisters from the hood, call him D, the president of the hood. So Deepath. That is his social media and nickname. Listen, we're going to get ready to wrap up this morning. I want to remind you again to please, Darrin talked about community service. I talked about also when there are opportunities for us to participate in design. Blue Hill Ave, White Stadium, white poles, and speed bumps. Please take a few moments, throw on your favorite song, and fill out this survey. If it is quick for you, and matter of fact, let me put a hyperlink in the comments right now. If it is It not if it is very quick for you to go in and fill out this survey. I can tell you that I was a part of the design, and we were very intentional about making sure that it was user friendly and it not taking a long time to fill out. So please do us a favor and participate in this opportunity for us to contribute to what is going on, your feelings, your participation in Boston's waterfront. This is being sponsored by the Coalition for a Resilient and Inclusive Waterfront. You know that they are one of our main partners, and I support them unequivocally. So please go ahead and fill that out. I did hyperlink that on Java with Jimmy. Now, let me just go over to James real quick before I get yelled at. Instagram, I am going to put it in the link in bio very shortly, and also in the story. So for those of you that are watching on Instagram, you will be able to go and fill that out over there. So please let me know if you fill out the form. Just comment somewhere in here or post on the Java with Jimmy page that you filled out the form. I think I have it in here and we should be good. Let's see what happened. For some reason, I think it may want me to go into the actual live. Hold on. Are y'all see? But no, I can go right back here and see if it showed up. Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So it's on James. Ma, you must be watching on James. I just put it in there. And on Java with Jimmy. It should be there as well. That is hyperlinked. So we're going to get ready to go. If you want to click that in a couple of seconds. Reggie, what's up, brother? Good to see you in the room. Mary Ann, good to see you. Pretty Maya, Nubian Square Foundation, brother Wawa, good to see you in the room. Sandra Boston, Essential Lady, ONS Roxbury, Asha, good to see you. Ellie, good to see you in the room as well. And our good brother Bonds, good to see you, man. Ari, good to see you in the room. Big Tiat, good to see you in the room. And I said good morning to Luz and others as well. Listen, folks, just some programming information. We will not be here tomorrow, and we will not be here on Monday. I have to take care of some things, and in also the spirit of what Darren was talking about, I'm a little bit of break is in there too after taking care of some things. So we will not be here tomorrow. We will not. I don't think I've stretched on camera before. That shows how tired I am. We will be back on Tuesday, however, with My City at Peace and HYM, who are very involved in the development of what's going on at Kearney Hospital. And so we're going to chat with them on Tuesday morning, December 16th at 10 a.m. All right. We will also update you on the holiday schedule from now until, well, for me through MLK Day. But we'll update you about that as well. I believe that is it for me today. Mom, please confirm if you saw the link on James and Java with Jimmy, and we will get ready to go. My brother is still, oh no, he's not. That was an old post. Okay, I got excited for nothing. All right. I think that's it for announcements. Don't forget the waterfront survey. Cheryl, good morning to you and others that are in the room. And as my mother said, no Java with Jimmy on the 11th and the 15th. We will be back on the 16th. I think that is it. I will have some updates for you all as we approach the end of the year around some things with the platform and aesthetics and me and things like that. So, Ma, glad you got the link. All right. Oh, y'all do me a favor. The link is on James Hill's page. I'm going to put it on Java. Share it, please. Or post the link yourself. The JWJ one. All right. This is what you can post. jwj.info crew survey. All right. If you put that in your post, that should take people directly to, depending on how your phones are set up and, whether it's Droid or, it should hyperlink. It's a short link. So that's the purpose of it. But now I'm messing. All right. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. As we are getting closer to Christmas, keep in mind a few things. We haven't talked about it as much, but it's still, we're in cuffing season. If you, oh crap. If you, If you're not cuffed up by now, you're probably not going to get cuffed. Your next potential cuffing season would be probably around, there may be some potential around December 31st, you know, rekindling, New Year, you know, your New Year's kiss stuff. Maybe. But the next prominent cuffing season is you know, it starts around the 2 weeks out before February 14th, so around February 1st. So but yeah, if you haven't been cuffed by December, what's today? 10th? You're probably not going to get cuffed. So ask me how I know. No, sir. Well, yeah, no, I do know. You all have a wonderful weekend, rest of your week, and we will see you on Tuesday the 16th at 10 a.m. with My City at Peace and HYM.